we are back, and we just finished watching 2022's Hatching with a runtime of 1 hour and 31 minutes. It doesn't have a rating on IMDb, but I'm going to assume PG-13 or R.
Yeah, probably PG-13. There wasn't anything especially gratuitous. I mean, well, the poor little doggy.
Yeah, there's that.
Yeah.
The after effects to Retta. Retta, the neighbor girl.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's yeah. I would still say PG-13, but...
Yeah, I mean, there's not geysers of blood or...
Yeah, it's not super gory. There's not a lot of foul language. There's no real sex in it.
There's implied.
It's implied, but there's no graphic sex or anything like that. What'd you think of this?
It was weird, but I liked it. I mean, it's still not like on Hereditary level, like love for horror, but this was interesting. I found it really fascinating. The whole, okay, so I guess we can talk a little bit about what this is about. It's about a young girl, Trina. Is that how you pronounced her name? I can't remember.
Yeah, Trina, I think. Trina? Yeah, I mean, the film is Finnish.
Yes.
So they're speaking Finnish. I think I was hearing Trina. I think that's how they were pronouncing it. I think that's how that's how it was spelled in the subtitles.
It's Trinja.
Trinja, yeah. Trinja? I don't know. We're getting lost in the pronunciation, but basically there's a daughter.
There's a girl who is desperate for her mother's approval and love.
Yes.
To the point where she basically co-signs on everything that her mother says or does.
And her mother is completely oblivious to any of her feelings whatsoever.
Yeah, she is self-absorbed.
The mother is completely to the point where she's blogging her entire family, trying to paint this picture of perfection. And she's just the most horrible human being.
Yeah, she is not a good person. She is not a good person. She, like, midway through the movie, moves houses with her daughter. Like, not even like really moved. It was just sort of like, oh, we're spending the weekend at my boyfriend's house. Yeah. And she's telling the daughter, I think I'm in love. Yeah. And the father is such a wimp. He's just like, oh, your mother's your mother. And it was one of the things. She's very forceful. Yeah. I always like that she knows what she wants or something. And I was like, what? What a bitch. And the younger brother was kind of a jerk, too. Oh, and the younger brother was a spoiled little piece of crap. Yeah. I mean, the only kind of decent person in this house was the little girl. Was the little girl, yeah. Yeah. And she she really just wanted to make her mom, I guess, proud. Yeah. And engaging, and you could tell I don't know if she really liked gymnastics. Like when the boyfriend asked her, yeah, it's like, do you like that? She's like, oh, it's a good sport. Yeah. It wasn't like, oh, I enjoy it. Yeah. And I think he even picked up on that. Yeah. She never said, oh, I liked it. Yeah. Yeah. The other thing was the way this was filmed. It was filmed we watched it on Hulu, right? Yeah, Hulu. Uh-huh. So we're streaming it, and normally when we stream stuff, like I make sure I don't put the settings on to get that creepy soap opera effect. Mm-hmm. But it still came through. I think that was the only way it came through. Yeah, and it was like too clear to be truly enjoyable. Yeah. It didn't have a cinematic feel to it. It felt like almost like a TV thing. You know, it's funny. I think at one point I was still like not, but you were like, I kind of let that go, and I'm enjoying this crazy ride. Yeah. After a while, I personally have found that after a while I will find myself getting used to the soap opera effect if for some reason the settings get screwed up and the story is compelling enough that you kind of let that shit go. You let it go. Yeah. Yeah. I will say that the way the whole thing is filmed, I think I described it to you as it feels like it was like everything was being filmed on a bar of soap. Everything was just like so pristine and light and like overlit.
Probably the only time that I didn't get that feeling was when they were in the boyfriend's house and things looked a bit more rustic.
Yeah.
But I think that was just because there was a lot more dark colors in the background. Mm-hmm. The house that these people lived in was
over the top. Glass everywhere.
Glass and like wallpaper with flowers and shiny and like white rugs.
Yeah.
Like even the bedroom doors had frosted glass on them. Yeah. So yeah, it was
wild. I was like,
it was like they were in a lab.
Yeah. Or like an IKEA catalog.
Like an IKEA catalog or a lab.
This was like professionally staged.
At the beginning when the freaking bird comes in the window and just this crow just comes into their house right after she's done filming the blog where she's like, "Oh, look at us. We're so happy in our super perfect lifestyle." Yeah. Then this bird flies in and just trashes everything. Like they have so much glass just like as decoration. The bird is just smashing everything. Yeah. It goes on the chandelier. It somehow knocks a chandelier down through a glass coffee table. And then the girl,
and you could tell that bird felt no remorse.
Yeah, this bird was like, "Fuck your shit." I'm gonna put a little color in this fucking house. And then the only one who like is smart enough to catch the bird is the daughter, and she catches the bird. And she's like, "Should I just take it outside?" And the mother's just like, "No, dear, come up, just bring it here." And she just cracks its neck. You could tell that like she's just pissed.
Yeah.
She wasn't like screaming angry or anything. She was just like la-di-da.
Passive aggressive, yeah.
Yeah. Right in front of the daughter.
The daughter's horrified.
And then she's like, "Throw this into the organic waste bin." Oh my God.
Yeah. I mean, and then the daughter hears like this strange
like screaming from the woods, and apparently it's somehow the bird did not die, and it was just in the woods. Somehow it crawled into the woods, even though I guess it was like paralyzed or whatever, and she has to like mercy kill it.
And then she finds an egg.
And then she finds an egg, and she brings it home.
And she's like, "I'll take care of it.
I'll take care of it." And it's probably not a spoiler because the trailer features all of this.
Yeah.
I will say one thing. If you see the thumbnail for this on Hulu and you are interested in watching it, do not watch the trailer.
Yeah.
The trailer gives away the entire movie from beginning to end. Yeah. It's like a Cliff Notes version of the movie. If you want a Cliff Notes version of the movie, watch the trailer and don't watch the movie. But if you want to watch an actual movie that's actually pretty good,
go into this
without knowing what's really happening.
Yeah.
But basically, she raises an egg, and something hatches out of it.
Yeah.
The synopsis is something unexpected and horrible or something appears.
Yeah.
And it does.
Yeah.
And
I did not fall asleep at all.
No,
it was compelling.
Yeah, it was well paced. There wasn't any like boring, like long drawn out boring bits. I mean, it's only an hour and change,
right? It was like an hour and it says 31 here on IMDb, but I thought it said an hour and 27 on Hulu.
Yeah, I mean the effects aren't going to blow your minds, but they are. They hold up. Yeah. They hold up. It's definitely weird and creepy. There's some gooey stuff going on. The little girl is very good. She definitely, I could tell she was being disturbed by what was going on, even though her mom clearly could not.
Because she was so self-absorbed.
She's like, her mom was so it's so insanely self-absorbed. She's just like, "I think I'm in love." And the girl's like,
"What?
Oh, really?" She's like thinking she's going to say something nice about dad.
Her dad, yeah.
And then suddenly it's just like
Taro.
Taro is the best. I think I'm in love for the first time ever. And you just see her face just becomes crestfallen.
Yeah.
And the mother's like, "Isn't that great?" And then she just, obviously wanting the approval of the mom, she sort of smiles and is like, "Yeah, that's great, Mom."
Yeah, this movie was something. Yeah, it wasn't like if you like slasher horror, this is not it.
No, it's not grisly or anything. I mean, people do get attacked, and you see the aftermath of the attack. And there's like,
and there is a moment of like dread when
Oh God, yeah. There's definitely a moment where you're just like, no,
oh my God,
don't go,
no.
Movie, don't go this far. Please don't do this.
Please don't do this.
Don't be one of those movies.
And it didn't, and I was grateful, but at the same time, the anxiety of that scene was a lot. That was a
panic-inducing moment.
Yeah. I didn't realize how much panic-inducing it was until later. Mm-hmm. And then I was just really grateful that Taro kind of put his foot down and was like, piss off, both of you.
Yeah. Because Taro was actually,
he was a good guy.
He was a decent guy for, obviously the mother's lover, but.
Yeah. Still. And again, she's not a good person.
Oh my God, the mother was absolutely horrible. Yeah. I feel like I've seen her in something else though.
I'm sure we have.
Her face looked very familiar.
I'm sure we have. Maybe
she reminded me. She reminded me a little bit of like the number one henchman from Die Hard. Big, Finnish.
Yeah, this was interesting. I mean, the script, I guess, is by the director Hanna Bergholm, and it says story by Hanna Bergholm. Yeah, I'm really, really impressed with this. I mean, it's not some over the top thing, and it's sort of, it goes at its own pace. It's not slow or anything, but it goes at its own pace. And when you get to the end, it's like, huh? What?
Yeah, I would say where it ended, I didn't know I don't know what's going to happen in that.
I have some ideas.
What is going to happen there? And what does this mean?
I mean, do we want to do the thing where we talk about it more in depth? Because I feel like I have ideas about where this is going to go.
Let's give our numbers, and then we'll go into the spoiler portion of the podcast.
I would give this a 7. I think from where it starts to where it ends, it's an interesting horror piece. It's pretty in a way. I know that you said it seemed overlit maybe, but I still found it interesting to look at. And I think just the little things, like how obviously the mother was sort of like the puppet master of the whole family. I mean, she basically had everyone in line except for the son, who was a pain in the ass, who I thought was going to suffer a certain fate, but didn't. And I'm sure that she picked all of the daughter's clothing and forced her to not have a social life.
I think that was true of everything. Everything was picked and positioned exactly the way she wanted it to be.
Right, exactly.
I mean, she was not without a selfie stick anywhere.
No.
And she didn't give a crap about what anybody said. Remember at the gymnastics competition, the lady's like, please sit down. And she's just completely ignores the lady and is filming the trophies and the audience and the crowd so that everybody could see her daughter compete.
Yeah.
She just did not give a crap about anything.
No. It
was just me.
Yeah. What's your number?
I'd also give it a 7. Yeah. I thought this was a good movie.
It's creepy too.
It's got some creepy aspects to it. I mean, it's not going to haunt you or really disturb you that much. I mean, there's just some gross bits to it. Some vomiting.
But I think it's a story that could stay with you.
I mean, I'm still thinking about it.
Yeah.
That's and I probably would still be tomorrow. I'll probably be what the hell was that about? So you want to get into a bit of a spoilery part of it?
Yes. Okay, so do you want to continue telling the story, or do you want to just go into the end and talk about the ending?
Oh, well, let's go into the bit of the story. If you're not interested in spoilers,
please
have
turn
a good
away.
night.
Yeah.
If you feel like hearing what was actually going on, keep listening.
So
basically, the little girl brings home an egg, and she's like, "I'm going to take care of you.
Yeah,
I'm going to take care of you."
Which I think was also she was. There was something very maternal and sweet about this young girl.
Yeah, I think she wanted to care for the egg in a way that her mom did not really care for her. I think that was a big thing, and she's caring for the egg, and one day the egg is just way bigger than it was before. And then it keeps getting bigger to the point where
it's hard to hide.
It's gigantic. It is huge. It's like bigger than a watermelon. And she's like, I forgot what exactly set her off, but I remember she was crying. And she's crying on the egg, and then the egg absorbs the tears, and the egg cracks, starts cracking hatching. Open, and like this nasty looking claw comes out of it, and she runs and hides, and basically this hideous bird thing comes out of the egg.
Yeah,
it's like imagine like an emaciated person with like sort of like one big arm and one small arm, and it's got like this giant like skull-like bird head with these two big eyes. And it freaks her out. It's making all these squawking noises, and it just goes crashing out the window.
Yeah.
And her father comes in and is like, what's going on? And she's like, oh, there was a bird. It crashed into that thing and blah, blah, blah. Basically, it comes back, and she sort of like cleans it up. It has glass in its arm. She heals it. It's the bird. It stinks. It's covered. For some reason, it's always slimy. And she gives it a bath, and she's taking care of it. And it starts living under her bed.
And she's bonding with it to the point where she's almost like she's the bird's mother. There's a scene where she
actually pukes and the bird eats her puke.
Which is what I think they do in the wild, right? Mother birds and,
But another thing that was like interesting or a facet of it was that when she was hurt, the bird was hurt. And when the bird was hurt, she was hurt. You know, it was like the evil twins from G.I. Joe. Tomax and Zaymon. It was one of those deals.
This is far from that, by the way.
But one thing about the bird thing is, though, it's also picking up on her feelings. Yeah. And when she starts getting mad at stuff, the focus of her anger, it's in trouble.
Yeah.
From a dog to a kid next door, to her brother almost. Although I wouldn't have been sad. I wouldn't have been sad if her brother got his.
Yeah, the mother.
The mother, and as things go, the little baby. Oh my God!
The baby.
That was the anxiety thing we were mentioning before.
Yeah, and the baby scene was nuts to me. I was like.
Yeah, and then when all is revealed, by that point, she's not this hideous thing anymore. She looks just like
the girl,
like Trina, except her eyes are weird. They're like white.
Yeah.
That was like another weird thing. At one point, her mouth split open.
Yeah, because I think she was reverting back to the bird, but then
like at the end, she drank some blood and it healed,
and then she became more, because then her eyes cleared up and she had like Trina's eyes.
And she spoke. She called the mother.
Mother, yeah.
That was after Trina was dead.
Yeah.
Trina dies at the end.
Yeah.
There's the big spoiler.
Trina sacrifices herself.
To save Al. The bird's name becomes Allie.
Allie, because she's from
it's like a nursery song, nursery rhyme song.
Yeah.
And it's like that. It just ends right there. So I don't know what is going to happen. Like, is the mom going to kill Allie, or they're going to keep Allie as the daughter now?
Yes, I think that's what's going to happen. I think they keep Allie as the daughter, and I think she's going to fit in more. Remember, there was like a thing where in the beginning, like those other girls in the gymnastics team,
they were kind of so weird.
Yeah, and even when Retta tried to talk to her, and they were like, why would you even like try to include her? She's so bizarre or whatever. And I think that was another thing. I think because of the way the mother was, I think she didn't really allow Trina to do much.
She had to quote unquote focus on this gymnastics competition.
Right. And that's all she could do.
All she cared, all the mother cared about.
She wasn't allowed to do anything else but that. Yeah. And I think that this incantation of Trina is going to be a little bit more aggressive, a little bit more
clearly
dominant.
More aggressive. I mean, she's doesn't seem to have an issue with mutilating people or killing
them. Yeah, if they get in her way. So I think that this version of Trina is going to be the mother's sort of pride and joy, because it's more like her in a way.
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe.
I feel like that's what's going to happen. I think that this version it becomes the dominant. I think in the household, the women, well, the mother was the dominant one, right?
Yeah.
And of the children, you could say Matthias was a little bit more. It seemed like he got whatever he wanted.
Yeah, I mean, he was a spoiled brat.
Right. But I think that this version of Trina is going to give him a run for the money. And I think that this version of Trina, much like the previous one, also wants the mother's devotion. But I think that she's not going to fall apart if she doesn't get it.
Maybe. I mean, I could see her, because she inherited a lot of emotions from Trina. So I could see her inheriting that need to please the mom from Trina. But she was also like this feral beast. I mean,
yeah.
Like I said, it wasn't until the end that she actually says something.
A word, yeah.
Prior to that, she would just like make that horrible screeching noise. This is so, and the fucking father, man.
He was useless.
He was absolutely just an utter waste of space.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I feel like the mother's gonna find another lover in a few years.
Like when they're basically there's at the end the mother and Trina are holding knives. The mother's like, here, take this knife, like big kitchen knives. And they're hunting down Allie in the house, and the brother and the son are like, what's going on?
The father and the son.
I mean, the father and the son are like, what's going on? And the mother's just like, just watch Matthias.
Yeah.
And then the next time you see them, he's putting Matthias to bed.
Yeah. While
his wife and his daughter are out there with butcher knives hunting something down. Yeah. I mean, come on, participate at least. Get some knives. Even if you weren't even going to hunt, you were just guarding the kid.
He couldn't get his clothes dirty.
Get a knife and lock the door, and like you're tucking this little bastard into bed, like as though, oh yeah, everything's cool. It's not some killer clone of our daughter running around with the mentality of some sort of evil bird.
Yeah, this movie was wild. I enjoyed it, though.
I did enjoy it, yeah. I don't know if it's not going to be a horror classic.
No.
But
yeah,
I mean,
if you're
kudos
looking for something...
kudos for the creators of this. I don't know if they've made anything else, but it was interesting. Like I said, well-paced. The creature effect, it was clearly some sort of weird puppet with some CG mixed in, I'm guessing. Looked good. They had some anxiety moments. Seriously, I was worried for that baby. That was an adorable baby, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
super
I was
adorable baby.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, because Allie comes into the room and she's like ready to kill.
Yeah, she has
a knife. She has a hatchet knife. Yeah, I mean, axe.
Yeah, she's going to just butcher this kid in its crib.
I think the color palette on this thing was kind of interesting, and I liked the
everything
scene.
was very pastel.
Yeah,
especially in that house.
Yes, and I liked when you see the two together, when the mother's in the room and the two
they're standing side by
side, and she's like, "What is going on here?"
Yeah,
I enjoyed this film a lot. I think it's one of those things where you have to really commend people for making something interesting with probably like a shoestring budget. I mean, I don't think any of these people are. I mean, I could be wrong. I don't know much about Finnish cinema, but
yeah, I mean, they could all be the Brad
TV
Pitt
actors. Yeah, they could be. Yeah, but I just feel like story wise, it was just an interesting story. It wasn't something cookie cutter. It's not something that you see all the time.
No, and there was like I said, there were some interesting themes as far as like the relationships between
mothers and daughters,
domineering relationships,
and even husbands and wives.
That was just bizarre. Yeah. It was an interesting facet to the whole story, and it helped sort of accentuate the mother's just self-centered vapidness. But yeah, just wanting to please, wanting to take care of something to the point where it just becomes like a monster. Maybe like, I guess, like a metaphor on pushing your feelings down to the point where they explode. Except Trina wasn't the one exploding. It was Allie.
True, but you could also look at themes of like parental love, right? Because in a way, Trina is the mother, or
Trina is the mother for Allie. Yeah.
Yeah. Until I guess she discards her, and then Allie almost reverts back to the bird kind of when she has that thing where Trina basically is like, get out of here, because she thinks that she's going to hurt the mother.
Yeah, I guess.
And even though the mother didn't really deserve Trina's protection.
I guess also like doing anything to please the mother.
Yeah.
I mean, but Allie would do anything to please, or what it thought would please Trina, whereas Trina was doing everything to please the mom.
Right.
I mean, Trina didn't really even have a problem with her friend from next door until the mother made it a problem.
Right.
And then it sort of got transferred to Allie.
Right.
Who did something about it.
Right. So this is what I mean. Like, I feel like afterwards, Allie becomes Trina, but like Trina 2.0. And I think the mother continues to be who she is. But I think that now she has like a willing disciple in her madness.
Maybe. You could interpret it that way.
That was my takeaway, that this is going to continue, but it's going to continue with Trina 2.0.
Yeah, I could also see it, the mother covering it up just because, oh my God, I murdered my daughter. I'm not gonna...
But she called me mother, and she looks just like Trina.
No, not that. I'm just talking about the superficialness of how bad it would look for her if people found out she had murdered her daughter.
Right. And
I mean, it was an accident. She didn't intend to murder her daughter, but she did.
Right. And again, it speaks to who Trina was as a character, that she went along with her mother in the beginning, but it was like she was having second thoughts. It's like, I hatched this.
Yeah.
And then she sacrifices herself, basically, for Allie.
It's interesting.
It sure is. I'm going to think about this movie in the next few days a lot, too, I think. Any closing thoughts?
No, I think we got it all out.
So what did you say, 7?
A 7.
I said a 7 too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think if you are looking for something horrific and wild with a little bit of subtitle, I think definitely go over to Hulu and check out Hatching from 2022. This is 1 hour and 31 minutes according to IMDb, although I think on Hulu it said 1 hour and 27 minutes. There's no rating on this, but yeah, I agree. I think it's a PG-13. There are some disturbing sequences and such, but all in all, just really interesting, good storytelling. And it'll definitely have you on the edge of your seat, and it'll definitely keep you guessing if you stay away from the trailers.
Yep, don't watch that trailer.
Yeah.
It seriously gives everything away.
Yeah. And that's it from us, and we will bid you all a good night.
Good night.